Good morning, everyone. I thought I would try to do a video blog again this morning about another reading of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It's on the same verse, but a different part of what love is and what love is not. I read yesterday, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 says, "Love is not rude, it is not selfish, and it cannot be made angry easily. Love does not remember wrongs done against it." And we talked yesterday about love not being rude, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about love not being selfish, which, once again, this really convicted my soul today. I'm telling you, I feel like a mess some days in the showing other people love department. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel like so defensive over my own emotions and my own wants and needs, but I really honestly have to work really hard at pushing down my human nature and pulling up my spiritual nature so that I'm not loving based on my emotions. It's really hard to do. I struggle, and 1 Corinthians 13 has been a great read for me. So, I want to share a little bit about love not being selfish. The dictionary describes selfish as devoted to or caring only for oneself, concerned primarily with one's own interest, benefits, welfare, etc., regardless of others. The first thing I want to address about being selfish, however, is that there is a huge difference between taking care of yourself and being selfish. Because I don't want people to think that just because they want to take care of who they are, that they're selfish because of it. There's a good line between being selfish and taking care of yourself. Self-care is very important and vital in our own lives. Have you ever heard the saying, "You cannot pour from an empty cup"? It's true. We have to make sure that we are caring for all areas of our own lives so we can be the best version of ourselves to care for everyone else that's involved in our lives. If there's nothing left in here, it's going to be hard to give to other people. So what does taking care of ourselves look like? It is taking care of our physical needs. It's getting sleep and rest. I know, moms, it's hard to do, but take care of yourself. Ask for help. Ask for a nap. Ask for somebody to watch the baby for a little bit so you can get some sleep. No sleep causes us to be very agitated, very frustrated. We need to get some sleep. Take care of your body when you're not feeling good. Your body's going to give you signals, and you got to follow them. Go to the doctor. Get a test done. Take care of this body. We only get one. It is eating wholesome foods, things that are good for you. It's drinking water. It's taking care of your personal hygiene. It's making sure that your physical body feels good. It's taking care of our emotional needs. It's dealing with situations in a healthy manner and seeking help if we're not able to deal with situations in a healthy manner. It is spending time with the right people, and it is understanding our feelings. It's taking care of our social needs, getting as much social interaction as we need to feel mentally stable. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so trust me when I say get social interaction. If not, I feel like you could be borderline losing a sense of self, and you don't want to do that. It is spending time with your friends, pursuing hobbies, and creating new friendships. It is taking care of your spiritual needs, praying, reading the Bible, talking to God, spending time with other people that will help encourage you, finding out what kind of faith you believe in. It is taking care of your home needs, making sure your home is peaceful, organized, clean, useful. It is ensuring that clothes are clean, the beds are clean. You want to create as much of a peaceful home life as possible. That is taking care of yourself. I love when my house is clean because I feel like my soul is settled. And that's what one of the needs is for us. That's taking care of yourself, is making sure that your home has a peaceful, productive environment. It is essential that we do take care of ourselves. Eleanor Brown once stated, "Self-care is so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow." You cannot serve from an empty vessel. And it is true. Moms, dads, get out there and care for yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to be the best version of yourself for your families. When I don't have social interaction, when I haven't had a shower, when I haven't had sleep, when I haven't had time for a little bit of me time, I am the worst version of myself. And that is not fair to my family. That's not fair to my husband. That's not fair to my children. That makes my love so tarnished and bitter and broken. It's not healthy. Take time to love yourself. That's not selfish. Loving yourself and caring for yourself and getting the needs that you have, that is just something that we all have to do. There's a difference between caring for ourselves and becoming selfish. Being selfish is when we begin to put everything before everyone else. It's a dangerous pit to fall in. We lose sight of everyone around us and only focus on ourselves. It is okay to take time to focus on us, but it is dangerous when we lose focus of everyone else while doing so. It's when we start neglecting the needs of others is when it starts getting dangerous. In Galatians chapter 5, Paul writes, "You were indeed called to be free, brothers and sisters. Don't turn this freedom into an excuse for your corrupt nature to express itself. Rather, serve each other through love." Let me explain further. Live your life as your spiritual nature directs you. Then you'll never follow through on what your corrupt nature wants. What your corrupt nature wants is contrary to what your spiritual nature wants. And what your spiritual nature wants is contrary to what your corrupt nature wants. They are opposed to each other. Now, the effects of the corrupt nature are obvious. Illicit sex, perversion, promiscuity, idolatry, drug use, hatred, rivalry, jealousy, angry outbursts, selfish ambition, conflict, factions, envy, drunkenness, and wild partying, and similar things. I've told you in the past, and I'm telling you again, that people who do these kinds of things will not inherit the kingdom of God. Now, this isn't to spark fear in you. I don't want everyone to run out of here thinking, oh my gosh, Alyssa Bay just told me that if I have selfish ambition, I'm going to not make it to heaven. Not saying that, okay? Not trying to spark fear in you. I'm saying God is a God of mercy and forgiveness, and He's wanting to change your heart if you do have a little bit of selfish ambition or anything else listed here. But selfishness is part of our corrupt nature. It is what begins to consume us if Jesus Christ is not consuming our hearts. It is ranked up there with idolatry, drugs, hatred, anger, perversion. We must pray every day for our spiritual nature to direct our actions, words, and thoughts. We must subject our minds and spirits to Him so that our corrupt nature does not overpower our spiritual nature. We cannot do this alone. We must do it through Jesus Christ. He is the ultimate power. Our human flesh alone cannot combat the weapons of spiritual warfare. It cannot combat selfishness, hatred, anger. His Spirit can, in ways we could never imagine. Paul writes that the opposite of selfishness is a humble spirit, which, trust me, I know it's hard to get there. In Philippians 2:3, he says, "Don't act out of selfish ambition or be conceited. Instead, humbly think of others as being better than yourselves." Selfishness is not thinking about others' feelings or needs. A humble, meek spirit consistently thinks about the feelings of others before speaking or acting. It is our human nature to resist this, but it is the Holy Spirit that encourages us to seek it. Being meek does not only apply to our husbands or our relationships, it applies to our nature with all human beings. While I was reading this verse, I kept thinking of my children also. I'm not saying that we are called to be slaves to others. Like I said, we need to take care of ourselves. But when we speak, when we act, we have to understand that everyone else has needs, everyone else has wants, everyone else has feelings, and it is selfish for us to act on just our own instead of thinking before we talk, thinking before we act. This is something that I struggle with, but especially with my kids, even if something small happens, I get aggravated, I immediately snap, I don't think of my children's wants. I don't think of their needs. I don't think of their spirits. I don't think of how I could be possibly damaging them in the future. I don't think of that. And that's not fair to them that I have a selfish attitude when I get frustrated. It's not fair. Last night, I got so aggravated. I yelled so loud. And I could see all of my kids just kind of like crumble. And it was like in that moment, like, I thought, is this what I want my kids to remember about me when they get older? Do they want to remember a mom that yelled, that screamed, that followed her own selfish ambition over their feelings and their wants? The only thing that I have found myself doing since last night is praying over my mind and over my spirit. Praying that God would fill me with meekness, not selfishness. A quote on Pinterest stated, "Being meek does not mean weak. It means behaving with goodness and kindness, showing strength, serenity, healthy self-worth, and self-control." I have been praying that God would give me a spirit of goodness, kindness, serenity, self-worth, and self-control in my actions and words. And this all goes back to selfishness. I think one of my problems as far as addressing my lack of a gentle and meek spirit is my own opinion of my self-importance. When I lack a gentle spirit with my children, I think, my time is more important than this. My time is more important than going to get a toy, than getting another drink for the 57th time today. I get so overwhelmed when I nag my husband. My time is more valuable than these extra 10 seconds it takes for you to put your dishes in the sink. My time is more important than having to get you a drink while you're sitting on the couch. And that's not fair. When I'm impatient and speak negative words to others, I'm more important, and my time is more important than riding behind your slow car. I'm more important than waiting in line at the grocery store. That's when selfishness begins to creep up. My time is more important than your wants and your needs. And that's not fair. That's not fair to those that are around us. I'm more important. That's all I could think last night. And that's not fair. This is where meekness tends to fly out the window for me, and haughtiness rears its ugly head. Another quote on Pinterest by Gordon B. Hinckley states, "Being humble means recognizing that we are not on earth to see how important we can become, but to see how much difference we can make in the lives of others." And this all goes back to filling our cup so everyone else can get the overflow. We can serve others with the overflow. This is how we maintain a humble spirit, by remembering that we are here to make a difference in the lives of others. Or as Jesus would say, by remembering that we are here to serve others, especially our husbands and children's. Love is not selfish. Love is a humble and meek spirit. Love is taking care of ourselves, but not neglecting the needs of those around us. Love is caring for what's in here and getting what's in here right with God so that we can love others like Jesus, serve others like Jesus. Love is not selfish. Love is taking time for yourself, loving yourself. But love is also, after we take the time for ourselves, loving those around us appropriately, fulfilling their needs, fulfilling their wants with a humble and meek spirit. So I love you all today. I hope that you got as much from this as I got. I needed this so bad. I did. I feel like a failure as a mom some days, as a wife some days. I struggle with having a humble and meek spirit. And it's not fair to those around us, which is why I have been praying so hard that God would empty out the bad. Empty out selfishness, empty out not seeing how important their wants and their needs are. Realizing that He has called me to love my family and serve my family. And that's a great gift. It's a great gift, and sometimes I don't see it as a gift because of my own selfish ambition. So I hope that everybody can pray with me today that God would bless our spirits, that He would remove every bit of selfishness, every bit of pride, and that He would help us to see what the beauty in a humble and meek spirit, and that He would help us care for ourselves and our needs, and then go out and care for the needs and the wants of others. I love you all today. God bless you. and I hope you'll join me to do this again tomorrow.